Hello, thank you for joining me as I prepare dinner tonight. So today I'm preparing kale. This is a very large bowl of kale, and this is called rainbow kale. As you can see, there's some variations in the color. There's some purple, and then there's the natural green, and there are different shades of purple. There's some deeper, darker shades of purple, and some lighter shades of purple, and the green. So I am going to be sauteing this kale in some onions and just creating a very simple dish to go with some rice and beans that I made a day or two ago. So I'm going to have a look at my onions that are already cooking, and let's see how they are. So here I have two large red onions that I have already started to caramelize, and they are just about ready for me to add the kale. Just going to give them a stir, and there we go. There we go, they are perfect and ready for me to add the kale. I just want to have them covering the bottom to add a nice base to put my kale on top of. So I have already added some salt and pepper to these onions, and they've been caramelizing now for about 10 or 15 minutes. And so I'm going to just I'm going to just add this kale that I have already washed and drained. Just going to add them to the pot. Isn't that color beautiful? Different shades of purple. Can you see that? How gorgeous that is throughout the veins of the kale? Some green and some purple together. It's beautiful. This is my favorite kale. I like all kale, but this is my favorite, the rainbow kale. It does taste slightly different from there is a slightly difference in the taste from the regular just green kale. I'm not sure how to describe the taste, but there is a slight difference in the taste. I actually have 3 bags of kale that I'm preparing today, so this is just one bag. This is how large the bowl is. So that was 1 bag, and I am going to let this cook down for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to add the second bag once this has shrunken down some. I'll let that cook down for another 10 minutes, and then I'll add my third bag and let it all cook down together. So totally I might end up cooking this for longer than what I would like to cook it, only because I'm doing 3 bags and I want to have it all in one pot. Normally 10 or 15 minutes should be enough to cook that 1 bag, but since I'm doing 3, I'm going to end up cooking it a little bit longer, but that's just so everything can be evenly cooked and be soft in the way that I like it to be. A little bit of a crunch, not too soft, but I need time to get them all done. So we are going to cook this dish in maybe about 30 minutes or so, and I'm going to let this steam down for a little while, and we'll be back to check on it before we add the second bag. All right, we'll be back. Okay, we're back, and my kale has cooked down. It's been steaming for about 10 minutes, and so I'm going to give it a nice stir, incorporate these onions, and then I'm going to add my second batch of kale. Sorry about the steam fogging up the camera. There we go. So we have these beautiful red onions, nicely caramelized. Bring up some of the sugars in the onions, combining that with the first batch of kale. And now we are ready to add the second batch. And see how we've got a lot of shrinkage there. Lost a good bit of the volume. That will allow me to add the second and the third bag to my pot. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that beautiful green color. Okay, getting ready to add the second batch now. So I just wanted to take a look at this rainbow kale before I add it to the pot. I mentioned earlier that there is a slight difference in the taste with the rainbow kale and the regular uniformly green kale, and I was trying to figure out what the difference in the taste is, and I think the kale that's all green has a slightly more earth tone, and the rainbow kale here has a slightly sweeter taste to it than the natural green kale. And if you look at some of the pieces here, you can see the variations in color. Some of the purple is a little deeper than others. See, there's a difference in these smaller pieces here. Isn't that beautiful? Just wanted you to see some variations in the color. This is a leaf that has some green and then the purple veins going through it. So just want you to have a look at what the rainbow kale looks like. And I am now going to add this to the pot that we've already started to saute and cook down. We'll be back. Okay, so I've added the second bag of kale to the pot, and I'll allow this to steam for about another 10 minutes. And once we get some of this nicely cooked down and it's shrunk a good bit in size and volume actually, once it's shrunken down some, I will add the third bag. Okay, I'll be back.